The dawn is a violent intruder. It tears open your eyelids before you are ready to face the world. You lie there, suspended in that gray space between sleep and wakefulness, and for a moment you wish you could simply sink back into the darkness. The bed is warm. The world outside is cold, demanding and loud. If you are over 60, you know this specific heaviness. It is not just the stiffness in your joints or the ache in your lower back. It is the weight of the day ahead. You ask yourself, why must I get up? What is the point? My career is over. My children are grown. The world has moved on. Why not just stay here where it is safe? 2,000 years ago, under the heavy purple blankets of the imperial palace, I fought this exact same battle. I was the most powerful man on earth, yet I was a slave to the desire to hide. I lay there, bargaining with my own soul, desperate to avoid the burden of being Caesar. I know the seduction of the blankets. It is the most dangerous siren song you will ever hear. It whispers to you that comfort is the goal of life. It tells you that you have earned the right to be passive, to be soft, to be useless. But I am here to tell you that this voice is a liar. The comfort of the bed is the comfort of the grave. You were not made to lie still. When I wrote in my journals, I was not preaching to the world. I was arguing with myself. I wrote, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of, if I am going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? You answer, just as I did, but it is nicer here. Yes, it is nicer. It is easier to surrender to the warmth. It is easier to let the television fill the silence than to create something of your own. It is easier to age passively than to live actively, but look at the cost. When you start your day in defeat, the rest of the day follows in retreat. A morning begun in weakness leads to a day of anxiety. You feel this anxiety, do you not? You wake up and immediately your mind is flooded. Not with duties of state perhaps, but with worries, health scares, financial concerns, the state of the world, the loneliness of the house. You let the world rush in before you have even put your feet on the floor. You check your device. You turn on the news. You drink the poison of other people's chaos before you have drunk a glass of water. This is why you are not calm. You have surrendered your morning to the world before you have claimed it for yourself. A calm morning is not an accident. It is a conquest. You must seize the dawn, or the dawn will seize you. I remember mornings on the Danube front. The mist would be rising off the river. The air smelled of wood smoke and horses. My body ached from sleeping on a cot. The pressure of the war, the plague, the politics, it was all waiting for me outside the tent flap like a pack of wolves. If I walked out there unprepared, they would tear me apart. I needed armor, not bronze or leather, but mental armor. Your morning routine is that armor. You cannot go into the day naked. You cannot face the challenges of aging, the doctor's appointments, the solitude, the declining energy without first stealing your mind. The morning is the only time you have control. Once the day begins, events take over. But in those first quiet moments, you are the emperor of your own soul. Do not tell me you are retired. Do not tell me you have nothing to do. That is the excuse of the coward. As long as you are breathing, you have a job. Your job is to be a human being. Your job is to contribute to the order of the cosmos. Your job is to be a good neighbor, a wise grandfather, a stoic endurer of pain, a beacon of patience. You argue with me. You say, Marcus, I am tired. I have worked for 40 years. I deserve to rest. And I ask you, do the birds rest when the sun rises? Do the ants stay in the hill because they are retired? Do the bees refuse to gather honey because they are old? No, they do their work until they die. They follow their nature. Why do you, a human being, with the capacity for reason and logic, think you are exempt from the laws of nature? When you reject your morning, you reject your nature. And when you reject your nature, you invite misery. The depression you feel, the aimlessness, it comes from disconnecting yourself from the rhythm of life. Let us go deeper into this argument, for I know you are still clinging to the blankets. You think that because you no longer have a boss watching the clock, your time is your own to waste. This is the great trap of modern freedom. When no one forces you to get up, you must force yourself. And that is the hardest discipline of all. I looked at the plants, the birds, the ants, the spiders, the bees. They go about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can. And you are not willing to do your job as a human being. Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? But we have to sleep sometime. You say, agreed. But nature set a limit on that. As it did on eating and drinking. You have had your sleep. You are now over the limit. You have had more than enough of rest, but not yet enough of working. You still love yourself less than the artisan loves his art, or the dancer loves the dance. Think of the engraver. He ruins his eyes. He forgets to eat, because he is possessed by his craft. Think of the dancer who bleeds into her shoes. They do not struggle to get up. They are pulled from their beds by purpose. What is your purpose now? If you cannot answer that, then of course the morning is terrifying. If your purpose was your job and your job is gone, you are empty. If your purpose was your children, and they are gone, you are hollow. You must find a new purpose. And let me tell you what it is. Your purpose is to perfect your character. Every morning is a workshop. You wake up not to make money or build an empire, but to build you. To practice patience with the slow cachet. To practice courage with your arthritis. To practice temperance with your food. To practice wisdom in your reading. This is work that never ends. It is noble work. When you see the morning this way, the dread vanishes. You are not waking up to a void. You are waking up to a gymnasium. Let me share with you the method I use to quell the noise. It begins with silence. When you wake, do not speak. Do not switch on the machines that scream the news of the world. Why do you invite the tragedies of distant lands into your bedroom before you have even said good morning to your own soul? I would rise before the sun. In the darkness, I would wash my face with cold water. This shock to the body is necessary. It reminds you that you are alive. It washes away the dreams and the lethargy. Then, I would sit. Not to plan the battles, but to plan my conduct. I used a technique I called Premeditation of Evils, the Premeditation of Evils. This sounds dark to you. Perhaps you want to wake up and think positive thoughts. You want to tell yourself that today will be perfect, that everyone will be kind, that your body will not hurt. And then, when reality hits, when the coffee spills, when the neighbor is rude, when the knee buckles, you are shattered. You are angry because the world did not obey your fantasy. I did the opposite. I told myself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. I said this not to be pessimistic but to be prepared. I visualized the annoying senator who would waste my time. I visualized the betrayal of a general. I visualized the bad news from the frontier. I saw it all in the quiet of the morning. I accepted it. I told myself, none of these things can injure me, for they cannot implicate me in what is degrading. By the time the sun was up, I had already faced the worst of the day in my mind. So when the actual problems arrived, I was not surprised. I was calm. I would say, I expected you. You must do this. You are old enough to know that the world is not a nursery. People will be thoughtless. Your body will betray you. Technology will fail. If you wake up expecting paradise, you will spend the day in hell. If you wake up anticipating the struggle, you will walk through it with the grace of a sage. This is the secret of a calm morning. It is not about scented candles or soft music. It is about looking reality in the eye and saying, I am ready for you. After the mental preparation, there must be the physical action. You cannot think your way into a new life. You must act your way into it. Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, and doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. Tenderly, willingly, with justice. This was my command to myself. Once the morning ritual of the mind was done, I moved to the task. Not the biggest task, not the scariest task, the task in front of me. For you, maybe it is making the bed. Do it with precise and genuine seriousness. Smooth the sheets as if it were a holy duty. Why? Because it brings order to chaos. If you can govern your bed, you can govern your room. If you can govern your room, you can govern your mind. Then, the journal. You have seen my meditations. You think it is a book of philosophy written for the ages. It is not. It is a weapon I forged every morning to fight my own weakness. I did not write to be published. I wrote to stay sane. You must write. You say, I am not a writer. It does not matter. The paper does not judge. Get a notebook. Every morning, write down what you are afraid of. Put the fear on the page. When it is inside your head, it is a monster. When it is on the paper, it is just ink. It loses its power. Write down what you are grateful for, but do not write generic platitudes. Do not write, I am grateful for my family. That is lazy. Write, I am grateful that my eyes still work well enough to read the clouds. I am grateful for the heat of this tea. I am grateful that the pain in my leg is a reminder that I am still feeling. Be specific. Gratitude is the antidote to the poison of its nicer under the blankets. It forces you to see the value in the waking world. And then, stillness. Before you engage with anyone, your spouse, your friends, find 10 minutes to sit in absolute stillness. Watch your breath. In ancient Rome, we did not have your meditation apps, but we knew the value of the retreat. I called it retreating into the little field of my own self. If you rush from sleep directly into activity, you are like a soldier running into battle without his shield. You will get hurt. The stillness is your shield. It centers your gravity. When you are centered, the chaos of the day can push you, but it cannot knock you over. I also want to speak to you about the news, the scrolls, the town criers, the rumors. In my time, it was messengers bringing word of famine or invasion. In your time, it is the glowing screen. You are addicted to the outrage. You wake up and you drink a cup of fear. What did the politicians do? What disaster happened while I slept? Stop it. You are poisoning your morning. You cannot control the events across the ocean. You can barely control your own temper. Focus on what is yours. Is your kitchen clean? Is your mind clear? Is your conscience light? That is your empire. Rule it. When you consume the chaos of the world first thing in the morning, you are telling your brain that the world is a threat. No wonder you want to stay in bed. No wonder you are anxious. Cut the cord. Give yourself 1 hour, just 1 hour of holy silence before you let the world in. We come now to the final and most powerful tool for a calm morning. It is the one you fear the most. but the one that will liberate you most completely: death. Every morning, when I opened my eyes, I treated it as a resurrection. I did not assume I would wake up. Many men, stronger and younger than me, went to sleep and never woke. A stroke, a heart failure, an assassin in the night. To wake up is a statistical improbability. When you lie there complaining that you have to get up, remember this: there are a million ghosts who would give anything for one of your boring mornings. They would give all their wealth to feel the cold floor on their feet just one more time, to taste one more stale piece of bread, to see one more gray sky. You are treating life as if it is a burden, while the dead know it is a privilege. Seneca, a Stoic who came before me, taught that we should balance the books of life every day. When you go to sleep, you say, "I have lived. My life is complete." If you wake up the next morning, it is a bonus. It is house money. Imagine how your morning would change if you truly believe this. You are not having to get up. You are getting to get up. You have been given a bonus round. The gods have spun the wheel one more time for you. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This is not morbid. It is clarifying. If this is your last day, do you want to spend the first hour of it doom scrolling on your phone? Do you want to spend it grumbling about the weather? Or do you want to savor the coffee? Do you want to look into your spouse's eyes and really see them? Do you want to do your work with love? The proximity of death makes life sweet. It strips away the nonsense. When you realize you are dying, and you are, every minute you are dying, the trouble of getting out of bed seems ridiculous. You are wasting the precious limited currency of time on self-pity. So, here is your command for tomorrow morning. When you wake, do not touch the phone. Put your feet on the floor immediately. Do not negotiate. The moment you start negotiating with comfort, you lose. Stand up, feel gravity, wash your face. Say to yourself, "I have risen. I am alive. I have been given a bonus day. I will not waste it on fear. I will not waste it on anger. I will do the work of a human being." Then, go to the window, look at the sky. Notice the light. It is a gift. Then, get to work. Do not wait for the feeling of motivation. Motivation is for children. Discipline is for adults. Action comes first. The feeling follows. I am Marcus Aurelius. I am dust in the wind, but my words are alive in you now. Do not let me down. More importantly, do not let yourself down. The bed is for sleeping. The day is for living.